नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने श्रीवर्षभानुवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्वल प्रेमाद्यय श्री रूपानुग भक्तिदा श्री गौरा करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगा विरुद्ध अप सिद्धांत द्वंद्व हारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्बरसाम्भोधे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगावराय ते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्देशः सज्जनप्रिय वैष्णव सर्वभौमा श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरात्मसे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तवतार भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते जयतां सुरतो पंगोर्मम मंदा मतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्भोजौ राधा मदन मोहनौ दिव्यद्वृन्दारण्य कल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नागर सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद् राधा श्रील गोविंद देवो प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितौ कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रियेस्तु नः तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Brave souls are assembled here today. How many are online? Some genuine, some not. Sorry? 32. We must be what? 50 here? Around? 45? More than 50? Chapter 2, sorry, Canto 2, Chapter 5, Cause of all causes. We will just uh, do a quick summary of the first 20 verses which we discussed in the previous sessions. I had also posted a very nice summary by Amish Prabhu, which some of you may have read. It was posted just at 6 o'clock. And Amish Prabhu, what he does is he goes and hears the lecture again and makes notes. So that's another level. So, round of applause for Amish Prabhu. Very, very nice mood to want to systematically hear all glories. And then we will, first I thought I will just summarize and then we will just do the test. But I thought even if I were in your place, I would have failed the test then. Assuming that people have not read much. So we will just go through all the verses. If you pay attention, you will get most of the answers. And then we'll do a 13 questions only test. I thought to make it 15, but then I thought, chalo, there's more scope of things going wrong, so we'll keep it to 13. We started with Narad Muni asking these 6 questions. What are the symptoms of the universe? Who is the shelter? How is it created? How is it conserved? What does it depend on? And what is it made of? Right? These are 6 questions that Narad Muni asked. And last time we discussed a couple of them, which was the first one was symptoms of the universe. We discussed that Dravya, the elements, Kal, time, Swabhav, material nature, Jiva, the living entity, and Karma, activities. These 5 are grounded coming from Lord Narayan, Lord Vasudev, sorry, in this verse it is mentioned. Then we also discussed the who is its shelter, the shelter of all these different things. We narrated this wonderful verse. We can even narrate it again now. Narayana Paraveda, Deva Narayana Gaja, Narayana Paraloka, Narayana Paramakha, Narayana Paro Yogo, Narayana Param Tapa, Narayana Param Jnanam, Narayana Paragati. Okay, so Veda comes from Lord Narayan, Deva, all the demigods coming from Lord Narayan, Loka, all the Lokas, planetary systems coming from Narayan, Makha coming from Lord Narayan, Yoga, Tapa, Jnana, Gati. Gati means ultimate destination, Lord Narayan. And then we discussed about if everything is coming from the Lord and everything belongs to the Lord, then everything should be used in the Lord's service. And we read some excerpts from a purport of Prabhupada. Does anyone remember what it was about? Yes. Very good. One was voluntarily serve, knowing that everything is coming from the Lord and that all uh, talents that we have to do things are also given by Krishna, and the things are also given by Krishna, their elements are given by Krishna, facility is created by Krishna, and my karma is also sanctioned by Krishna. So if Krishna is behind everything, I must voluntarily use these things in Krishna's service. And Prabhupada specially mentioned about sacrificing for Krishna. Right? We must make sacrifices for the Lord. And then we discussed that story of planting pearls, of how when we make some sacrifices for the Lord, when we take some vows for our spiritual life, when we do something for service, going out of our way, actually going out of our way is to enjoy material life. Our way is serving Krishna. That's our way. That's Jiver Swarup. Swarup means constitutional position, original nature, right? Constitutional position. Prabhupada terms it as constitutional position. Original nature of the Jiva is Krishnera Nitya Das. Nitya Das, eternally servant of Krishna. So that's our nature. And when I want to enjoy otherwise, that's going out. So Prabhupada is saying just sacrifice those propensities and just do something worthwhile with life to serve Krishna. And then Krishna will be very pleased. When devotees take certain vows, especially which are difficult. ऐसे नहीं मैं you're chanting 16 rounds of 5 years, you'll say Krishna, I vow to chant 16 rounds. That's but you can say I vow to chant 16 rounds in the morning, or 10 rounds in the morning, or I vow to read something before I chant every day, or I vow to read something before I sleep in the previous night. Things like that for chanting. Similarly, vows can be for so many other things related to our spiritual life. Reading, for example. I vow to read every day, Prabhupada. 5 minutes I will read every day, 10 minutes I will read every day. And then we make a vow. It doesn't have to be told to anyone. We make a vow. It's between us and Krishna. And then Prabhupada said, a gentleman will follow the vow. That's why when we get initiated in front of the deities, in front of the fire, and in front of the devotees. And then we take a vow to the Guru. And so Prabhupada says, a gentleman will never break these vows. Because you're taking a vow in front of the spiritual master, in front of Agni, in front of the Vaishnavas, and in front of the deities, in front of the Lord. Similarly, we can take some vows for our own spiritual life. It's ultimately, it works. You try it sometimes. And you can take short-term vows. Krishna, for 1 week I will chant in the morning. It's easier to do. 1 week. And then if it's done, 1 week hua, let's reset it. 1 week nahi hota hai, do 3 days. Do 1 day. You get inspired right now. Krishna, tomorrow I will chant in the morning. I will complete my rounds before 8 o'clock a.m. Maybe for some 8 p.m. भी achievement है. 8 p.m. तक rounds हो जाएगा. 8 a.m. Sunday. And you will find it is doable. Then reset the vow. Okay, Krishna, every Sunday I will chant. Complete my rounds at 8 o'clock in the morning. Then every Sunday and every holiday and every Ekadashi. And then like that you can vows don't need to be आज से लेके जब तक मरूंगा तब तक करूंगा. वो अगले दिन ही टूट जाएगा. It can be short-term things. Whenever we are trying to do something difficult, something which is beneficial for us, something which is new, we should always break it up into small compartments and then do it. Because it's doable. The mind says, हाँ ठीक है, एक Sunday का ना कर पाएंगे. But if we make it like आज से लेके till eternity, till I am on this material world, I will get up at 4:30 every day and chant. Tomorrow, next day only mind will tell you, so ja. So these vows, these sacrifices when we take, for whom? For the one who has created everything, who's given us everything, who's given us intelligence, who's sanctioning our karma. We may think, I deserve this house. I deserve my bank balance. I deserve the position in life I am in. मेरे वजह से आया है. You are half true. Because even then, if Krishna doesn't sanction, it will not come. Krishna has to sanction. Tomorrow, whoever is the owner of it's a public company, the HDFC, any bank, they just decide. The CEO just decides no more transactions from tomorrow. You may have lakhs and crores. You can't access it. What's the use? So similarly, if until Krishna doesn't sanction, your next day's sustenance will not come. So therefore, we have to be so grateful to Krishna. So why not sacrifice for him? Why not sacrifice for him? So whatever sacrifice we can do, something that should pinch. As I said, sacrifice. Lord, I will eat prasad every day. I'm chanting 16 rounds for 3 years. Lord, I will chant 16 rounds every day. That's not sacrifice. It should pinch. It should pinch. Maybe, it can be, Lord, I will not talk while I eat prasad. Especially on Saturday. Try it today. You don't talk and you just think you're eating Krishna's remnants. And like that you eat. Like I don't know how many of you could focus on Jai Radha Madhav when we were thinking of the different pastimes of Krishna. It becomes easy to focus. Similarly, if you are talking, then I don't know how many of us even realize while we are eating prasad that we are eating remnants of Krishna. We are just thinking इसमें नमक ज़्यादा है, पनीर अच्छा सॉफ्ट है आज, या राइस अच्छा बना है, या कुछ ज़्यादा है, कुछ कम है, चिली ज़्यादा है. Do we think that we are actually tasting something that has been chewed by Krishna, that has been accepted by Krishna, that has been seen by Krishna with his eyes, and with his eyes he can eat? Because we're busy talking. So we can talk after prasad and we can try. And then you can have, these small changes. Is what makes us Krishna conscious. It's not something big we have to do. Prabhupada said Krishna consciousness is simple for the simple. It's actually our nature. To get bewildered is outside our nature. Now, itne lifetime se hum illusion mein ja rahe hain ki now that has become our nature and this has become outside of our nature. But this is our original nature. So to get back to this nature is very easy. Just these chintu increments we have to do. Be conscious when you're chanting. Be conscious when you're honoring prasad. Be conscious when you're hearing. Don't worry who's coming in and who's coming out when the door is opening. Half people, when the door opens, and chalo, if the door is here, you can still understand. But when the door is there, also you manage to do that. Talent. You were giving the Sunday class. Sunday class, the door is here. तो चलो ठीक है, सबका ध्यान जा रहा है, कौन आ रहा है, कौन लेट आ रहा है, अच्छा लेट आया. बट यहाँ पे तो पीछे है, फिर भी हमारा मुंडी घूमता है उधर. I don't know who we are expecting to come. We can be more conscious. And like that, we can take some vows, sacrificing certain things for Krishna. Whatever is troubling us in our spiritual life, that can become a short-term vow to sacrifice. If spacing out on YouTube is becoming a challenge, make that as a sacrifice. Short-term, Krishna, one day, today, no spacing out on YouTube. No spacing out with the news. No spacing out with unnecessary talks. No spacing out with whatever. With friends, with this, with that. And so then the Prabhupada said, Krishna gets pleased. And then Krishna blesses us. And ultimately, mercy of the Lord is what we are looking for. Right? Now, it's actually moving the clouds. Can all of you please come little in front? So then Brahmaji goes on to describe in detail the process of creation of the material world. So we know that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. Acha, now whatever is I'm going to discuss now, if you pay attention, you may do relatively well in the upcoming test. So please, this is not a question in that. Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. His first expansion is Balram. From Balram comes Sankarshan and Chaturvyuha, right? So Chaturvyuha comes from Balram. And from Chaturvyuha, Sankarshan, what comes? Narayana. And from Narayan, what comes? Second Chaturvyuha. Excellent. And from the Sankarshan of the second Chaturvyuha, what comes? Mahavishnu. Okay? This is how the hierarchy is. Acha, don't cheat. So you can take photos, but don't refer to them while giving the test because your test is also going to be on the mobile phone. You can cheat. You're cheating yourself. Krishna will note. उस दिन तूने cheat किया मंदिर में इतना sacrifice सुनने के बाद तूने cheat किया. So we may have, like me, some of you may have habits of cheating in tests, like in school, college. Don't do it here. It's not going to be of any use to you. So Mahavishnu is lying on the causal ocean, and from him, when he is breathing out, what happens? From each pore of his body, one universe is coming. You see all those on the left side, all the circles, each of them is one universe. You see on top, Mahavishnu is lying down. And then all these bubbles are from every pore. How many pores do we have in our body? More than 10 lakhs. And Mahavishnu is how much bigger than us? That number we don't know. And from every pore of his body, one universe. That means how many universes are there? Unlimited. That's not a question in the exam. So from each universe, then we see in each universe there is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu lying down. From his navel comes Lord Brahma. And then from Brahma, then whatever we read till now starts. Secondary creator. Secondary creator is. I'm making it too easy for if you just retain 10 minutes of your memory, you will be able to do well. I'm saying as if this test ka result will have some weightage in something. Then what happens is, now when Mahavishnu is lying down, what he does is, he, in the corner of the spiritual sky, where the Brahma Jyoti is, there's a cloud that develops. That cloud is called as Pradhan. Pradhan. And then what Mahavishnu does is, he glances at that Pradhan. Now, till then, it is just a cloud, it is nothing, right? But when Vishnu glances at it, then that Pradhan gets agitated. And by Vishnu's glance, what he is doing is, he is impregnating that Pradhan with Kal, time, Karma, destiny, and Swabhav, nature, of all the living entities who are going to come now in this creation. So all the living entities who are going to come in this creation, their karma, then the swabhav, and then modes, and then the time factor, without which nothing happens, is by Vishnu's glance on Pradhan, all these things get activated and Pradhan gets agitated, and then Pradhan is known as Mahat Tattva. So then Pradhan gets agitated and Pradhan turns into Mahat Tattva. And when that happens, the modes are activated. Hare Krishna. Yes, bro. Yeah. Yeah, please. Can you help, Aryan? Oh, not working? Oh. It's the wrong time for that to happen. In between a heat wave. Dukhalayam, you can press on that. Hare Krishna. So the modes are activated. And the first manifestation after this is the false ego, Ahankar. False ego in the mode of ignorance, and then false ego in the mode of passion, and then false ego in the mode of goodness, because modes were activated and then Ahankar comes. And so this Ahankar, false ego, when in touch with mode of ignorance, when in touch with mode of passion, and when in touch with mode of goodness, leads to certain things which develop. So false ego in touch with mode of ignorance leads to the 5 tan matras and the 5 elements. What are the 5 elements? Earth, water, fire, air. What are tan matras? Sense objects are the. Okay, so what is the tan matra for sky? Sound. Very good. So means that which is perceived in sky, right? In sky, you cannot touch sky. Sky means ether, space. You cannot touch it. No, there's nothing. You don't feel anything. You cannot smell it. There's no smell. You cannot taste it. There's no form. But there is sound. You close your ears also. That sound will happen. People give you conch shells and they say उसमें वो ocean का आवाज है. Actually, it's not ocean ka आवाज. It's just the noise of the air between the conch shell. And we also put in, अरे हाँ, waves का आवाज है. You put any object like that, make that hollow thing and put it in your ear, you will get sound. Okay. Air now, along with sound, because sound travels through air, along with sound, what else is there in air? Touch. You can feel air. You can feel wind. In fire, along with fire having a sound and having touch, fire has a form. You can see fire. You can see flames. You can see a blazing fire. You can see a dwindling fire. You can see different aspects of fire. Now, along with these three, water also has taste. What does Krishna say in the seventh chapter? Rasoham apsu kaunte. I am the taste of water. I am the taste of water. So water has taste. And then earth, which is the grossest element, it has all five. Along with these four, you can also smell it. You can smell fire. You can't smell water. You can't smell air. You can smell earth. So these are the five tan matras. So the five elements and the five tan matras are created by false ego in the mode of ignorance. False ego in the mode of goodness, it creates the mind and the 10 senses. What are the 10 senses? Five are knowledge acquiring senses. Sorry, here it is the 10 sense devatas. Devatas. These 10 senses have 10 demigods who are in charge of them. There are 10 demigods who are in charge of our 10 senses. When those senses stop working, you should pray to those demigods to reactivate them. You should? What should you do? But just for your knowledge, these are the 10 devatas in charge of the 10 senses. I'll give you my phone when you do the exam. I'll take your phone. Every slide he's taking a photograph. The year it is Dig Devtas, eyes is Surya, that is easy. Eyes is Surya. Skin is Vayu, nose is Ashwini Kumar's, tongue is Varuna, hands are Indra. Hands are paining, you pray to Indra. Feet are paining, you pray to Upendra. Voice is not to the mark, you pray to Agni. You're constipated, you pray to Mitra and Prajapati for the genitals. Uh, these are the 10 devatas in charge. So even for this, there are demigods. We can't do anything on our own. Even for evacuating, there's a demigod who is overseeing, and only when that happens will we be able to do it. And then when you do something weird and then constipation comes, there's nothing we can, even evacuating is not we are independently doing. Can you just see our sorry state of affairs? हम लोग कुछ भी इंडिपेंडेंटली नहीं कर सकते हैं और फिर भी हम सोचते हैं आई एम इंडिपेंडेंट, आई विल डू व्हाट आई वांट टू. You know that book, The Secret? It's bogus. Because everyone would be rich. You just think, and the universe will come together and give you. If your thoughts are right and if your consciousness is right, it will come. They don't know what universe also means. What the hell does universe mean? Universe is all this. None of these things can come together. So for every single thing, there are demigods in charge and their boss is Krishna. And only when Krishna sanctions these demigods, the modes of nature, things come together and we get something for which we may have deserved or which we may have desired. Both they come. But they will only come when all these things are there. On our own, nothing we can do. So it is like huge illusion to think that I don't need Krishna in my life. Or it's a huge illusion to think I know what I'm doing, I have a plan. If that plan is independent of Krishna, I have a plan and that plan is going to make me happy. If it is independent of Krishna, it's a huge illusion. It's a huge illusion to think, okay, Krishna consciousness, everything makes sense. Just give me 10 years, I'll get everything sorted and then I will dive into it. Where is there a question of independently doing anything here? Even some small thing like evacuating, there's a demigod in charge. So this is false ego in the mode of goodness. Srila Prabhupada writes, the Supreme Lord, being the supreme possessor of spiritual senses, is the master of the senses. Rishikesh. Rishika means the senses and Isha means the master. The Lord is not the servant of the senses, or in other words, He is not directed